are misunderstood is due to the wrong usage of modals. Hi, I'm Teacher Shirley, your guide in understanding the different usage of modals. So now, be ready with your paper and pen for you to take notes as we go through our discussion. But before we proceed with our discussion, let us check first our learning objectives. First, identify modals used to express permission, obligation, and prohibition. Second, differentiate between modals used to express permission, obligation, and prohibition. Third, write a paragraph using modals of permission, obligation, and prohibition. And fourth, express permission, obligation, and prohibition using appropriate modals. To begin with, let's talk about modals. Modals are type of helping verbs or linking verbs used to show various modalities such as permission, obligation, and prohibition. Let's start with expressing permission using modals. The modals can, could, and may are all used to express permission. These modals are often used interchangeably. However, while they are synonymous, they are actually used differently. In the table that we're going to study, it shows that we use the modals may, could, and can to ask for or give permission. They all have the same basic meaning, only that they differ in the level of formality, wherein can is casual, could is less formal, and may is most formal. Before we go any further, let us check first the difference between formal and informal or casual situations. Formal situations involve superiority and position. For example, conversations between an employee to his employer, a student to her teacher, younger people to older people, and conversations with strangers. I repeat, formal situations are those that include superiority or positions, such as employee to employer, student to teacher, younger people to older people, and conversations with strangers. Meanwhile, informal or casual situations are those situations wherein there is no position or superiority involved. It is also called as relaxed situations. So examples of relaxed situations are chatting with your friends, your colleagues or co-workers, and chatting with your family members. I repeat, informal situations are relaxed situations such as chatting with your friends, colleagues or co-workers, and chatting with your family members. We have discussed that modals have the same basic meaning but have different level of formality. So, in this table, it shows that of the three modals of permission, may is the most formal, could is less formal, and can is casual or informal. Remember that we just learned the difference between formal and informal, so we know to which situation we are going to use certain modals. Let's check the different uses of the modals may, could, and can. The modal may is used to ask for permission politely. Could is used to make polite requests, but it's less formal than may. And can is used to ask for permission in informal situations. So, if you want to ask permission from your employer, teacher, older people, or strangers, use the modal may. And to make a request in polite manner, use the modal could. And lastly, when asking for permission from your friends, colleagues, and family members such as siblings and cousins, use the modal can. Here are examples of sentences using the modals may, could, and can. Let's read it together. May I remove my face mask while talking? Could I use any props in my video presentation? And can I speak with your brother? So here is the summary of what we have just discussed on modals of permission. May is the most formal, could is less formal, can is casual, and may is used to ask for permission politely, while could is used to make polite requests but it's less formal than may, and can is casual and is used to ask for permission in informal situations. Let us now discuss the modals of obligation. First is the modal must. Must is used to express an obligation, and the authority for the obligation comes from the speaker. For example, I must encourage my siblings to do their best in their studies. In here, the obligation is self-imposed. Nobody is forcing the speaker to do the action. Number 2, you must take your medicine today. In here, you are obliged by the speaker to take your medicine because he believes that it's the right thing for you. The second modal of obligation is have to. In expressing obligation using have to, the authority comes from external sources such as other people, rules, and laws. Unlike in modal must, wherein the obligation comes from the speaker himself or herself. For example, you have to wear your face mask in public places. We use the modal have to because wearing face mask in public places is a rule. The health protocol requires everybody to wear face mask in public places. So let us now proceed to the modals of prohibition. In the modals of prohibition, we have 3. We have must not, cannot, and may not. Let's first look into the level of formality. So for must not, it is formal, cannot is informal, and may not is formal. Let us now look into the uses of the 3 modals of prohibition. Let's start with must not. Of the 3 modals, must not is used to express the strongest or forceful prohibition. The prohibition can be subjective or objective. When we say subjective, it is the speaker's opinion, while objective, it is a real law or rule. We have 2 examples here. The first is subjective and the second is objective. Let's start with the first one. You must not eat so much sugar. Eating so much sugar is not against any law, but if your mother tells you this, it's simply because she knows that too much sugar is bad for you. Number 2, policemen must not drink on duty. Policemen must not drink on duty is objective because the law prohibits policemen from drinking in public places or when they are in uniform. Next is the modal cannot. Cannot is used to forbid or prohibit someone from doing something because it's against the rules or law. For example, he cannot go to the forest to hunt wild animals. It means that he is forbidden or not allowed to go to the forest and hunt wild animals because the law prohibits anyone from hunting wild animals. Remember that the modal must not is also used to prohibit someone from doing something that is against the rules or law, but it is used in a formal way while cannot is used in informal situations. The third modal of prohibition is the modal may not. Just like the modal must not, may not is a formal way to prohibit something. However, it is used as gentler version of must not. For example, you may not put much sugar in your coffee since you are diabetic. Okay, so those are the modals of permission, obligation, and prohibition. Now, before we end our discussion, not forget that modal verbs can be very tricky because some are synonymous and therefore seem fine to be used interchangeably. Second, synonymous modals have slight but important difference from each other. And third, improper use of modals can lead to misinterpretation. Thus, knowing how to use each modal is helpful.
So, that ends our discussion, and always remember that the correct usage of modal leads to effective communication. Once again, I'm Teacher Shirley saying good luck and stay safe always.